So off the throw, and I showed this no-gi recently. As we step in and we throw and we lift, we drive them down, we land in this position. A lot of people are asking, well, I feel like I'm going to get my back taken. Remember, we generally want to be head over head. I don't want to land up here. I can still backstep, but this is not great. I generally want to be head over head. And I always try to prevent him from getting underneath me. The same thing we looked at no-gi recently. If I can, I will place my thumb inside of here. He does have the belt, so he can lift me a lot easier. But with my thumb inside and he goes to lift, it's very, very difficult. I'm already in half guard. So what are my options here? Okay. If I have this type of position, as we've seen recently, I like to sit through, switch my hip, and drop my weight on him. I personally, even though it's not wrong at all, don't like to lay across the shoulder. I have a lot of head attacks here, but I feel there's less weight on him. When I sit through, I like to sit across the diaphragm. And I like to take my left elbow here and sit in. This is a very powerful pass with the gi. No gi, this is also powerful. George St. Pierre is very good at this hip switch pass. Okay. As I come in, I connect. Everything's nice and tight. Look at my left foot. It's an action foot. If I'm flat and Peter bridges hard, I might go flying. So I keep that left foot in like a spring and I stay on my toes and I drive in slightly. So when he goes to bridge, it's difficult. And as he bridges, it's easy to backstep. Okay. If he does not bridge, I can sit here and hang out. What did we look at no-gi? We looked at connecting and connecting and locking up our Kimura grip from here. But with the gi, one of my favorite things to do here is take my time and lock up a straitjacket. So I come through like I've got a Kimura and I leave this hand open. And I'm going to take that time to open up his gi. You're not in a rush here. He's blinded. As long as your weight is distributed correctly, it's going to be very difficult for him to take your back and get around from here. Okay? So if you guys bring it in, you can see, bring it closer. You can see the grip. Palm up. I reach for his gi and I loosen it up. You can also grab the belt or any part of the belt. And I grip and I hold it just like I'm holding a mug or a gun, that type of position, thumb up. Now, for Peter to move his hand, he's in what a lot of people call a straitjacket from here. There's actually old judo footage, Kosen Judo. Kosen Judo is a type of judo that they used to do in technical schools in Japan and focus on the ground. They show this grip. We're going back to like the 1960s. So I have this here. I'm sitting through. I'm going to walk this foot up, free my knee. Take the other hand. What's the better leg to push on is the bottom leg. I bring my knee over and we backstep. And now Peter's in a terrible position. I'm in a reverse case of gatame. He's trying to turn into me. I've got this connection. He's controlled. Okay, so once again, half guard. He had this position. Hand is over here. As he goes to lift, my thumb comes inside. This cross face is preventing him from getting underneath me. I'm going to sit through. And as I sit through, I change my angle. Foot is inside like a kickstand. And I'm going to bring this arm in. If you guys come around, take a look again. Here, like you're trying to check if it's raining outside. This we gather up, and don't be in a rush. Take your time. Free up anything you can. Sometimes it's the part of the belt. For Peter, it's his gi. Connect. I pull this out. I grip. I take my time. Now his arm is trapped. And all I'm going to focus on is walking my knee up till my knee pops out. Then I'm going to push on his bottom leg. And I'm going to slide my left knee or upper shin over his thigh. And from here, I backstep and we get a good strong pass. Okay, let's give it a shot. So I've shown this move many times before. It's one of my staple passes with the gi. It allows you to slow yourself down, not think about what they're doing, gain control, take a breath, and let them make a mistake. So again, we blocked the crossface. We held him here so he doesn't lift his underhook. We sat through, and again, I like to lie my lat across his diaphragm. I still see a lot of you around the room like this. Not wrong. A lot of good people pass this way. My preference is laying across that diaphragm right above his elbow. Okay, I took my extra time to bring this in. I took the skirt of the gi and I took my time to pull that out. Sometimes I got to take weight off of him. And I held this with a pistol grip. Walk until you clear the knee. Once the knee is cleared, it's easy to push on the lower leg. Remember, this kickstand leg is very important. Peter goes to bridge. It's not going to knock me over. There's tension on that leg like a spring. I push. I backstep. Now, where do we wind up? We wind up in tremendous control. I'm not even going to bother going for the Kimura. We would no gi. With the gi, it's difficult for him to stop me from coming around here. He can put his back on the mat. Tight, heavy, 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 heavy. There's so much control here. It's very easy to lift him. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right into that collar. Peter goes to defend himself. It's not happening. I have to keep my chest behind his shoulder blade, behind his scapula. And as I connect here, I'm actually going to sit him up into this position. If you got this in a tournament, this would be a highlight reel. It's a very controlling situation for him. On the bottom, there's not much he can do, okay? If his hand's on the mat, I can step over his arm. If not, either way, I'm going to step over with my right leg first, and I'm going to fall down to the side. Everything's already in. I can very easily just grab his opposite lapel here, push, and finish, okay? You can actually just finish him like this because his arm is so controlled, okay? Bless you. So, once again, he sat here. We had this in, this connected. We just walk around to north-south. We get under the head with the crossface, and we take that time to grab his gi. As I start turning him, I get my chest behind his scapula. From here, I sit him up. I'm going to find the side where I have the collar, and that leg's going to come in first. And as I fall to the side, I can actually just straighten and finish him here. Or if I wish, I can go for a more traditional approach and release, push down, and cut across. Okay, let's give it a shot.